Hi, and it's September 18th, and this is episode 2 of Plane Savers Down Under. And today we're at RAF Base Williamtown, the Aviation Heritage Centre for Fighterworld. And unfortunately we just missed an F-35 taking off and enhancing the video. RAF Base Williamtown shares its strip with Newcastle Civilian Airport. Here are based F-35s, Classic Hornets, Hawk 127s, and the E-7 Boeing 737 AEWC wedge-tail aircraft. We've got at the moment a looks like a Sikorsky 92 rescue helicopter getting ready to take off for that last sortie. Now we have a 35 blasting off into the murk. Pictures taken from the lovely cafe here at the Fighterworld. Okay, I shall see you around. Now welcome to Fighterworld at RAF Base Williamtown, and this is the first hangar with all of the modern aircraft, starting off with the earliest of the Meteor right up until the F-111 that's just been retired. Hopefully in the not too distant future there will be a Classic Hornet, and down the track a Hawk 127 will join this group. The Gloucester Meteor, the first jet fighter to fly and participate in combat in World War II. The RAAF flew these in Korea. They became a good ground attack aircraft. They weren't the greatest fighter against the MiGs. They were starting to get a bit old those days, but they still fulfilled a valuable need in the early days of combat, and enhanced gave the RAAF a chance to learn how to use jet aircraft. Let's start off with something really great. This is the CAC Sabre with the Avon engines and the 30mm cannon. A much bigger air intake. Some people say was the ultimate Sabre. This is the Air Mackie 326 trainer used by the RAAF, and also the display team, which one of these this one represents. That was the primary trainer for many years. And now on to one of the most beautiful fighters the RAAF has ever flown, the Dassault Mirage 3. It was slightly modified for our requirements. You have to admit it's got to be an aeroplane that looks like it should be in the air. It's a beautiful looking aircraft. That was the step up from the Sabre. We flew the Sabre and then we moved to the supersonic Mirage 3, which is a development of a 3E. With the ATAR engine. Sorry, it looks like I must have turned the light off. And over here is the better looking one, the dual seat version. It certainly is a magnificent looking aircraft. The trainer version of the Mirage, and of course we have to have the appropriate nose art. But again, a beautiful looking aircraft. And now we come to one of the most awesome aircraft ever operated by any Air Force, the General Dynamics F-111, the C model that Australia had, which is a different one. It combines benefits of the A and the B model of the F-111. You have the heavy landing gear, the longer wings, etc. And it was truly an awesome aeroplane. To watch this do a dump and burn over Brisbane's River Fire Festival, you could hear it, see it, and you could actually feel the heat. As we walk around, you'll see the fuel dump valve used for the dump and burn. In the background here you can see a whole lot of models representing different aircraft. We'll go up here and have a look. There's the engine out of the F-111. Trying to keep the spotlights out of it is a bit hard, but that'll give you an idea what the cockpit of an F-111 looks like. Here it is, obviously with the wings fully swept to get it in the hangar. And I was lucky enough to see the last flight of the F-111s out of Amberley. There you are, Mikey, there's a mock-up of a Fokker triplane for you. There's a good view of the PaveTac system underneath the aircraft. The big speed brake that comes down in front of the undercarriage. And a very sturdy undercarriage. You must remember the original F-111 was also considered to be an option for a naval fighter. Here's a great montage of the F-111 that's in the Fighterworld Museum. We operated the F-111 not as a fighter but as a strike bomber, and it's here as a fighter, as a bomber rather than Fighterworld. It's based at, they were based at RAF Base Amberley up near Brisbane, and they were, as I said, a truly awesome machine. This is the arrival ceremony for the F-111s. In the background you could have seen the F-4Es that we operated interim because the of issues with the swing wing mechanism on the F-111. Why we call them the pig down amongst the weeds. There you are, that's the dump and burn at River Fire in Brisbane. One going east to west and one going north. You can see how low they get. In a minute we'll see really how low they get. I was lucky enough once to be over at the lighthouse at Byron Bay, the easternmost point of Australia, and I took a photo looking down from the lighthouse into the cockpits of two F-111s flying below us. There you are, that gives you an idea how low they get. They get down below the heights of the building over the river. The F-111 and its replacement, the F model of the FA-18 Hornet. Here at RAF base Williamtown. It's a wet and windy day, very cold. It came from 35 degrees yesterday. I don't mind the rain up in Queensland. We're facing devastating drought and extensive bushfires, and also in northern New South Wales. So we need the rain further north, but this will do. What have we got taking off now? Enhancing the audio. It's a Saab 340 heading off. Already got into the clouds, that's how low they are. We're now in the second hangar here at Fighterworld with some of the older aircraft and smaller aircraft that are available. Here we have a Spitfire. Some of them are replicas, some of them are real. Here we have a ME-109. There's obviously restoration work happening down in the corner down there. You'll see, I'll go down there in a little while, and that's enhancing the video. Here we have a Vampire, one of the early fighters for the RAAF. I'll try and get some of those lights out of the picture so you can see a bit more details. The twin booms of the Vampire. And obviously the big bulky rear fuselage where the Neen centrifugal engine, and behind us you can see what a centrifugal engine looks like as compared to the current turbofan engine or turbojet engine. Much bulkier, completely different design and technology. But that was what the early jets were like, and you can see that in the bulky rear fuselage of the Vampire. Twin booms. Just in case you want to upset your neighbours here, get one of these, a nice 30mm cannon, which is the cannon that was in the Sabre I showed you. That'll upset everyone. Here we have a Link trainer, the early flight sim. And if you ever get a chance to have a go in one, I was lucky enough to have a bit of a muck around in one. They're good fun. Over here is the Australian designed and built our initial primary trainer, the Windchill, 3-seater. There's a lot of these in the Warbird movement. They are incredibly hardy aircraft, fully aerodynamic. They are a brilliant little machine.
Oops, I didn't mean to say aerobatic.
Hard to get these lights out of the way, but that'll give you a bit of an idea. There's the workshop in the background there, some restoration work being undertaken on bits of equipment. And there you are, how it all started, the Australian Flying Corps. And it was actually established in 1917. But it was part of the, or really wasn't the Air Force at that stage, it was more the Army. The Air Force celebrates its 100th anniversary next year, I think it is. So yeah, I've got to be careful because Qantas celebrates its 100th anniversary the year after, so I've got to make sure which one's which. Anyway, that gives you an idea what a Windchill looks like. There you go, there's a good look at the rotary engine, a radial engine rather, versus the rotary. There you are. Have a look at some of the work on this. I'll see if I can get you a bit closer. This is a camel replica. I just heard one of the volunteers telling me that on this camel replica, everything works. The engine operates, all the flying surfaces work. What they're going to do is slowly take it apart and re-skin it now. Half's going to be skinned in the original dope fabric, and the other half, so you'll be able to see how its construction will be covered in clear plastic, I assume, so you'll be able to see how it's been built. I'm afraid I got it wrong. Apparently this is a Ghost engine. I thought it was the Neen. The Ghost is the engine that was used in the Vampires and the Sea Venoms. Here is a Rolls-Royce Neen that powered the Venom, or rather the Vampire. You can see the long exhaust to get it out through the back of the aircraft, and it looks very much like the previous aircraft, all with centrifugal technology. And this is a Goblin engine, centrifugal. Then we get to the most mighty piston engine, the Rolls-Royce Merlin, of course. An incredible piece of engineering that powered so many successful aircraft. Spitfire, Hurricane, Lancaster, among many others. And there you are, there's a good shot of a radial engine, so you get a really good idea of what it looks like out of the aircraft. And this is a Cheetah Mark 10, which powered the Airspeed Oxford and the Avro Anson training aircraft. To make your day, for those people who would really like a little bit more firepower, here's the gun pack out of a Hawker Hunter, 4 30mm cannons. That would probably ruin your day. And that's Fighterworld at RAF Base Williamtown on a wet and cold and windy day. Williamtown operates the FA-18 Hornet, the classic Hornet, which will soon be retired in favour of the F-35 Lightning II. It also operates the FAC training unit which will take over with the new Pilatus PC-24s. It's also home to the E7 wedge-tail AEWC aircraft. So it's quite a busy little place, Williamtown, with one of a number of fighter bases in Australia. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed the time with Fighterworld, and we'll see you soon.
As we leave, Hornets blasting off into the gloom.